Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you how I spent lammas this year. I was very fortunate to spend it on holiday in Cyprus, and it fell on one of the best days of the trip. Much of what I did was coincidentally very witchy and themed around the Sabbath, even though I didn't plan to do anything special for the day, except maybe a tarot reading, which I didn't even end up doing. You're currently watching me make pita bread, and this was a complete coincidence that I made bread on the Sabbath that bread is often made upon, because I've been planning to make pizza with the flour and the yeast and everything that I bought, but we ended up eating enough pizza on this holiday due to reasons that I will go into more in depth in my podcast episode on Friday, but it was very chaotic for the first couple of days of my holiday. But yeah, anyway. So yes, I thought I would make pita bread this day, and I made it for my family for lunch, and I absolutely loved the coincidence of this because I absolutely love making bread. I love how it really awakens all of your five senses. Like, you can smell the yeast and you can smell as it like develops, and the way that you knead it with your hands and all the energy that you put into it. And something that I really loved with this particular time making bread, because I sometimes do make bread like every once in a while, but I loved it so much this time because another coincidence was that the water in the beginning, I couldn't get it warm enough in the kitchen. I didn't want to use any water from the tap because some of it is not really safe to drink in some areas of Cyprus. So the water that I did have, I decided to put it in the sun to warm it up, and that was the most amazing choice because it meant that I actually added some of that lammas energy into the bread that I made, because I literally added the solar energy into the bread, which I thought was so cool, so coincidental, because I would have done that anyway even if it wasn't lammas and I wasn't a witch. Like, just to put that natural energy into it was just amazing. Because yeah, maybe most people would microwave it, but yeah, I like being more natural on this channel. Anyway, so yes, it's really lovely to make bread, and I didn't have anything to weigh anything with, so I had to improvise quite a lot. I used a jug to measure out how many milliliters I had of flour, and it ended up turning out great and tasting amazing, and my family even said that it was the best pita bread they had ever tasted. So this is definitely something that I will be adding to my kind of kitchen witchery grimoire, which is something that I'd like to start, like a little recipe book with lots of things that I can add lots of witchy energy into when I make food. So yes, it was lots of fun, and I even added some butter to it, as you can see. And then we went on the most amazing boat trip in the afternoon, and it was great because we picked the sunset boat trip. So at the end of the video you will see some absolutely breathtaking views of this sunset whilst I was on the boat. I've never experienced a sunset like this before. It was very magical, and even more magical because it was lammas. I think it's important to give you some context of where I stayed on holiday so that you can understand the boat trip and where it went to and from and what I passed on the way. So I stayed in this little town called Lachi. It was near to another town called Polis, and it was about an hour from Paphos, which is kind of the main touristy hub of Cyprus. Cyprus has lots of different areas, but Paphos is the main one that people talk about, as well as Protaras, and I have been to Protaras about 10 years ago, so this was my second time ever in Cyprus, but it's such a wonderful island. I find it so interesting that it has its kind of own culture, but it also has mostly a lot of Greek culture, especially in the area that I stayed in. So you have a lot of Greek Cypriot people, and then in the other side of the island, which I didn't see on this trip, you also have a lot of Turkish Cypriots as well, which is very interesting. So yeah, it's very interesting culture because I'm very used to going on holiday and seeing Greek culture on Greek islands, because my recent abroad holidays have been Zakynthos, which was when I was in like year 6, and then Rhodes, which was 2 years ago, and then my other like abroad trip that I had with my family was Barcelona in 2019. So we mainly go to Greek islands because they are so beautiful, but we'd like to go to other places. It's just the bleeding cost of holidays, oh my god. But I absolutely loved seeing this island again. As I said, I hadn't been for 10 years, so I remembered like tiny bits of it. So yes, Latchi was so beautiful, and I would definitely recommend staying there if you were going to Cyprus, there or Kathikas, which we went to once when we went for a little meal. And Kathikas is one of the only places that I've been to on one of these islands where it's felt so authentic and beautiful and really rustic and traditional. So if I went to Cyprus again, I'd definitely stay there. So yes, the boat trip went from Latchi, where I was staying, to the Blue Lagoon, which I've just arrived in this part that you're watching right now. So this is really funny that this is also called the Blue Lagoon, because I went to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland last October, but this was very different to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, because this is kind of just a little area of coastland where the water is very deep blue. I don't really know a lot about it, but it was kind of like the main tourist attraction, except from the Baths of Aphrodite, which next week's video is about, and you can get off the boat and go and swim in it, and then this is the really beautiful sunset part of the video. I should probably put music in this, but I've still got stuff to say. Anyway, so yes, we passed the Baths of Aphrodite, so I kind of saw this coastline of the Baths of Aphrodite when we were on the way to the Blue Lagoon. So yes, it was such a gorgeous boat trip. I love going on boat trips on holiday. We went on one last year when we were in Devon, so I have a little boat trip video of that. I'll leave it in the description box. But I'm just going to leave you for the last couple of minutes of the video to enjoy this boat trip, because it was just really magical. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this lammas video and enjoy the relaxing clips. pothos. They got a pothos. I then finally had the opportunity to try a dragon fruit, and I've been wanting to try a dragon fruit for 5 years, ever since I saw it in Las Ramblas in Barcelona. I have wanted to try a dragon fruit. They look so cool, but they don't sell them in many supermarkets. So here is the crazy moment. I finally tried one.
How does it taste? What does it taste like? What's the nearest thing you can...
It's kind of like watermelon with the texture of how watery it is.
Right.
But
is it sweet or sour?
it's sweet, but it doesn't really taste of a lot. So that concludes my lammas vlog. I really hope that you enjoyed watching it. I am so grateful that I got to spend it on holiday with my family doing really amazing things. I would love to hear what you got up to this lammas, so let me know in the comments down below. And if you made it to the end of this video, please leave a bread emoji so I can give you a heart to let you know that I've seen your little comment, because it means the world to me when you guys watch all the way to the end. So thank you so much. And that is everything. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye!